The Kenise and Marc Show. The Kenise and Marc Show. Make sure you tune into the Kenise and Marc Show.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Kenise and Marc Show. I am Kenise, and today I have my sit-in co-host, Vanessa Persaud Robert. Welcome again to the show, Vanny.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Good, except for the burn that you gave me.
I couldn't help it.
Well,
You weren't being submissive.
the S word.
Yes, we're going to talk about the S word. But today, before we get to another episode, I just want to let you guys know Mark is doing really well. He's getting much better. Okay, so we don't get to do live show. Okay, guys, Mark is very ill, and he continues to be very ill. No, Mark has a really bad cough, but he is here in the studio and supporting us thoroughly. So we're really excited that Mark is able to get out of bed and get out of his pajamas finally. And I wheeled him over here because we talked about that a few shows ago. But so Vanessa is like filling in for him while he's recuperating from, on a serious note, from a very serious cough that he's had. We all know here in New York, between allergies and between the flu season.
Wash your hands.
She's a nurse. She's a nurse. She's a nurse, and I think you can't even wash your hands, more than you probably can, because it's like crazy. This flu season has been
warm
crazy.
water and soap, not the cold water, not the sanitizer. Warm water and soap.
Warm water, and you should sing "Row, row, row your boat"
Or happy birthday.
or "Happy Birthday" to you, right, while you're washing your hands.
15 to 20 seconds.
Yes, I sing "Row, row, row your boat," but sometimes it's a very... Anyway, today our show topic is: should your spouse have access to all your social media sites and access to your cell phone? Now, we live in an age where every single person has a cell phone, whether it's the top line Apple iPhones or bottom line Androids. Anyway, sorry for you Android people out there. She's a Droid user. Or even an Obama phone. Everybody has a cell phone. Vanessa, do you feel, because you're married, do you feel that your spouse should have access to your social media, like Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, and also access to your cell phone?
Should I honestly answer that question?
I want you to honestly answer the question.
In my particular situation, in my relationship, it wasn't even a question. We just did it. We didn't even talk on it, but we just did it. But recently, I gained access to one of his social media accounts, and I've been trolling under his social media account, which I don't think.
So you gained access.
Yeah.
So was this access that he gave you,
Yeah.
or you gained it? Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, I've never before used any of it that he gave me, or that we always did it together, like, make up this account, whatever. But and we shared passwords, and that's one of the things in our relationship. We have the same password on our bank cards, the same password or pins on the accounts. But in this particular case, I have been, using it without his permission, which I don't think is correct.
Oh my God! And you just said that.
And I changed his profile thinking he would notice. He didn't notice.
So why did you do that?
I don't know. I just felt like doing it, and I had the opportunity. It was wrong.
It was very wrong.
Yeah,
I'm
confessing.
I think with the whole aspect. Now, I'm a believer in giving access to your significant other. Now, I think you need to be at a level. I'm not giving my boyfriend of like 2 years.
Oh no,
like
we're talking married people.
Yeah, I'm talking for marriage now. I whatever is yours, because I wrote something here that came to my mind that secrecy is the enemy of intimacy. So I feel there is.
Say that again.
Secrecy is the enemy of intimacy. So I feel there's a very thin line between secrecy and privacy.
Yes.
So I feel we should have privacy, right?
Absolutely.
You know, in our lives. Because if you want to do something, you go to the bathroom, you want your private
Yes.
time, you want to do a number
Close
two.
the door.
Close the door, the smell,
Put
you know,
the
use some
fan on.
potpourri, light a match. I mean, you want
Don't light a match. It might explode.
No, there's potpourri. I love potpourri. Try potpourri. It's really good.
I've heard of it.
It's really good. Yeah. It's, anyway, next topic. Anyway, so
Yeah,
but
privacy versus secrecy.
and then secrecy. Now, I do know a friend of mine that I used to work with before would never touch her, and she lived together with a guy for many years, and they have a child together. But she says she never touches his phone, and he dare not touch her phone. Now, she also has different like WhatsApp accounts. So the text messages from her friends and stuff don't come through like her regular text messages. They come through WhatsApp, and I'm like, well, why are you doing that? She's like, because he doesn't need to see. Like, she has all of her text messages popping up on your screen. You can take that off if you want, so it doesn't pop up on your screen. But so she has it removed. But the WhatsApp, she has all of these WhatsApp accounts. But I'm like, if you're not hiding something, which she said to me that she wasn't. So if you're not hiding something, why not? Is it okay for him to have access? So
Obviously, it wasn't okay for her.
right.
So there's not that I'm saying she's hiding something, but sometimes we people, male and female, we don't realize that we're heading down a road that's pretty dangerous. That's why I like what you said there. Secrecy is the enemy of intimacy, because you imagine you're sleeping with someone and you have just a pillow in between you, right? But secrecy is not a pillow. Privacy is a pillow.
Right.
Like, you don't want to expel any gaseous, noxious gas his direction or her direction. You turn around, you face away from them. That's privacy.
It's like a silent
kinda
bomb.
like- yeah, don't do that. But the secrecy is a wall, and the Mexicans are not going to pay for it.
No Trump. The Mexicans will not pay for it. Anyway, we'll be right back from a quick commercial break, okay?
Hi, I want to welcome you to the Kenise and Marc show, a show all about relationships. And if you haven't seen this show yet, you need to. Why? Because we are relationship. Every part of our lives is a relationship, whether it's husband and wife or parent or child or in our workplaces. And if you want to learn how to navigate those relationships well, then you need to watch the Kenise and Marc show.
Hey guys, welcome back. So we're talking today with my guest co-host Vanessa Persaud Robert. Should your spouse have access to all your social media and phone accounts? So I think we're both on the same page to say yes. We're talking about, before we went to commercial, privacy versus secrecy. And I said secrecy is the enemy of intimacy.
Oh,
Transparency. I also have the healthiest couples value transparency over personal privacy. So if I'm going into, and we're not talking about like dating relationships, we're talking about more marital relationships where you're like married now to
sharing
this person.
accounts, like money accounts.
Right, where it's like you and I are in this
Invested.
forever till death do us part, blah,
Invested.
blah, blah. So the healthiest couples value transparency, which is transparency. I think of like this could be a transparent wall. It doesn't even exist. You know, the transparency is
Because
I'm
there's
able to
privacy.
see into everything that she's doing over personal privacy. So I talked about a friend of mine who doesn't allow her significant other to look at her phone, and he doesn't care for that either. So what happens, Vanny, if you're allowing your spouse to utilize your phone and say, yeah, go ahead and use it. My password is 1111, and he goes in, but then you're like, oh, let me just use your phone for a second to go onto Google, and he goes,
You can't
no.
get in, and you ask for his password, and he's like, let me do it. Why?
Why?
I just gave it to you.
I just
gave
give you
mine.
my phone.
Yeah, so for that, I go back to what Marc said in an earlier episode. It's all about communication. Now, it's not only
Right.
communication prior to marriage, but throughout marriage. you have to communicate with each other. You gotta talk about things. Don't assume he understands what you're thinking. I think that's what we do as women.
Right.
We
True.
assume that he understands what I'm thinking.
Right.
You have to say what you're thinking, and
Right.
then he's got to reciprocate by saying how he feels
Right.
about what you're thinking. So if that happened to me, I'd be like, excuse me. Well, you have to do it the right way.
Right. No.
Not the Vanny way.
Right, and the Kenise way would, we're working on rebranding
Yes.
ourselves. So I wouldn't now say, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what's on your phone? And then we get up and we're like, give me the phone. Like, what? You know, we really, guys don't like that.
No,
Because
well,
it
I
shuts
don't like
them
that
down.
because then I become this hoggish person or this
Animal.
overbearing person, and I don't want to be that.
So how would you handle it?
So I would do like Mark said. I would open it up for conversation.
How do you start the
And
conversation, Vanny?
Your tone.
So how do you start it? Hello? What do you say? And do you do it at that
Not
moment?
like that.
Do you do it at that moment? Because this is upsetting.
Yes.
I feel, why isn't he not giving me the phone?
And that's why you wouldn't want to do it at that moment. You would want to breathe and say, okay, here's the phone. Let him do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
When it's done, and I personally believe in pillow talk. When you're at your most vulnerable and he is at his most vulnerable is when you're on that bed and either you just made love or you're going to make love or you're just going to bed and you're just talking about the day. That's a nice tone to use when you're on that bed. Sweetheart, you can even retry it. Say, can I see your phone for a second? I want to check something. Mine is dead. I want to charge it. You can lie for that moment. It's good. And if he does the same thing, say, why? What's going on? And let it be like him telling you rather than you probing. You know, is it that you got a dirty word in there or
Some dirty
what are you
picture?
using? Make fun of it. The tone in the way we approach our spouses, our husbands especially. It's this episodes are gonna be girls talking, but I really want to give the men a voice. We need to show them the respect that we want to have. So if he's gonna come at me, I'm gonna come back at him. So if you're gonna come at him, expect him to come back at you. So the tone should be a very respectful tone, loving tone. Because remember, at the end of this episode of your issue with the phone, you still love this man. You have children, you're moving forward. So the tone is important.
But what happens, you use a nice tone, Vanny, in pillow talk. I get all of that. You get a nice tone going, and he still goes, okay, no, give me the phone. He puts in his own password and gives you the phone.
And then, like I said, you're continuing that conversation.
That eats me up.
Yeah, but
eats me up on the inside. I don't think it's fair.
No, it doesn't have to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But for the moment, is that really more important than where it will take you?
Mm-hmm.
Where that conversation will take you? Because like I said, I'm putting a lot of a responsibility on women because that's all I can talk about. If we want to go there, we will go there. And sometimes we go to places we really don't need to be, And
true.
So
very true.
Let me just, if I know if it's going to well up in me that I say, or some manipulative behavior is you turn your back from him and you say,
pretend to cry.
dude, don't do things like that.
No, they don't
Just
like that
Just be real.
stuff.
If at the moment he's not responding the way you want him to respond, revisit it at another time.
Yeah.
But keep on revisiting it. But I have
Do
to
it
say
in a
prayerfully
gentle
and
manner.
in the right tone.
Yeah, so I think I'm a believer for that. But I think if I were to go into a marriage, well, I should say when eventually I go into a marriage, I do believe now in a lot more privacy versus secrecy and transparency. But I want to trust a person because
Communicate.
at the end of the day, it's about trust. And also,
you can't trust without communicating.
So I think our kind of, you guys are in a scenario right now where your significant other doesn't want to give you their phones.
Breathe.
Yeah. Relax, breathe. Remember, watch your tone. Try to bring it out in different facets because the person may not be cheating. Maybe there's some stuff that is just on their phone and they're maybe embarrassed of, or they just want their privacy.
Real talk?
Real talk, go ahead.
These are men. Maybe they're watching things that, just to get them, through the day.
Excited.
Whatever it is. and they're ashamed because they don't want you seeing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Not that that's right. Not what they're doing is right. I'm not judging, but the point is the relationship should take a natural flow in getting all of that out.
Right.
So it's not you going in there and fluffing up everything. Where is it? Where is it? No, don't do that. It's not attractive.
I was there once.
Yeah, me too.
Many years ago, and I refused, and I said in the next relationship, this is part of the reason why Mark and I created this show, was to discuss from our experiences, and you being our co-host now for a little bit, to just bring out our own personal experiences, and we want to help you guys. All right, so thank you guys so much for joining us today, and we want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Facebook. We're on every Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Vanessa, I'm really excited again for you joining us for another episode of the Kenise and Marc Show. Thanks, guys. We love y'all.
Oh, yeah.